Welcome, rejects, rebels, and outcasts. You have done well to demonstrate your ability to fight and fend off the scourge of chaos that now plagues the Hive city of Tertium. I have been watching you as you have learned your role within the force that is destined to cleanse the darkness, and you have trained your eyes to seek out the unclean and the corrupted. You are near the end of your training, and will soon become the ones to be sent to deal with the corruption that has been festering in the deepest corners of the Hive. Steel your mind, for you will witness horrors unimaginable in your duties to humanity and the Emperor. But only this way can you redeem yourself and have a chance at vindication. Once you are ready, I will be sending you to investigate and put an end to the escalating, deadly outbreak of plague and heresy in Tertium Hive. The place is on the brink of collapse, and it's been beset on all sides by the darkness beyond the fringe. A darkness that seeks to destroy us all. This Darktide needs to be fought on all fronts, but also from within. Many regiments and groups have been risen already, but I fear the Hive city of Tertium has been inevitably infiltrated by the forces of darkness, seeking to finally overrun the city to a point of no return. This is why you must be prepared. You will have to uproot and purge the lost and the damned. If you want to get your hands on this or other games, make sure to get your own copies through Instant Gaming. In Instant Gaming, you can get any game at a convenient discount. Getting them is super easy. You buy your game of choice, they give you a code for you to redeem, and then you just download and start playing. Check the link in the description and support the channel by getting your next game at Instant Gaming by visiting instantgaming.com and use our code to get a chance to win a free game. Chaos cults have risen again. They are the most dangerous of threats that come from within, seeking to overthrow the Imperium of Man from its roots. And the temptations of chaos affect all levels of Hive city life. From the lowly cut gangsters of vast manufactorums, guardsmen, deserters, psychotic soldiers, persecuted abhumans, and mutants, to the highest characters in political office. You must know that chaos cultists can come from any background. It will be hard to uncover their clandestine operations, as they are specialists at hiding their sordid deals and demonic beckonings beyond closed doors. We must investigate everyone that seeks to accumulate some sort of local or planetary power, and no one is off limits. You must keep in mind that rebellion festers in the fetid underbelly of every civilized world. A tinderbox just waiting for a small spark to ignite and turn into a firestorm if any signs of rebellion are not properly contained. Where the flames of heresy are stoked, chaos is quick to follow, turning desperate men and women into worshippers of the Chaos Gods in a bid to gain something for themselves. In this way, millions of poor souls fall blindly into the claws of the ruinous powers, only to become their prisoners for eternity.
Beyond the circle of light, there are countless slaves to darkness who know nothing but hate and madness. They look on the Imperium and see only the possibility of fire and death, and they find that good.
Trade unions, charitable organizations, religious groups, even variants of the imperial cult. The tendrils of chaos rive their way into the foundations of the Hive as they survive and grow. And then they take root and expand their power and influence to cause the downfall of the planet itself. And the influence of the warp doesn't stop there. It is far-reaching, plunging its primordial tentacles into the minds of the general populace, whispering to them in their dreams and shaping the realities of their waking hours. Normal citizens will seek to undermine your efforts. Corrupted ogrins will need putting down, lest they bolster the ranks of chaos. A hard, unrelenting boot will be required to stomp out the cold trading of warp-touched objects and artifacts. Vessels of psychic energies will need to be destroyed. You must cleanse them of this demonic taint through the blade, blaster, and the zealous fire that forgives nothing. But in the case of the Hive city of Tertium, the corruption is now more than evident, more than palpable. The air chokes with heresy, and it is estimated that millions of citizens have fallen into the grasp of the ruinous powers by now. They have been twisted and distorted to follow the plans of the Chaos Gods. Incoming reports describe the growing threat that now has taken entire sectors and cities. Protesters, guardsmen, officers, and regular Hive citizens have fallen to the enemy. There are strange reports of groups of people disappearing, plagues almost instantly blowing through neighborhoods, wiping out entire communities within the blink of an eye.
Threat emergency. Tertium Hive is under direct assault. I have taken shelter in a neighboring zone because it is no longer safe where I was.
Orders confirmed. Kill them all. By the rod, and the way, and the three-lobed eye, by pestilence, unbound, and an eternity.
Say again. The Astra Militarum assets assigned to assist the crisis situation have turned on us. They are attacking the Hive. I repeat, the Mobian
Districts, factories, locked down sectors. The reports come in from everywhere as the screens of the monitoring facilities flicker with dire news, each more dreadful than the one before. But worse yet, in the Hive, there are far darker things than simply corrupted humans. The Xenos. Alien creatures that are not to be understood, but are either to be kept at bay or wiped out before they can become a threat. We need to neutralize any Xenos or demonic corruption that is infesting the city. And keep your wits about you. Deep within the shadows cast by the towering Hive, the enemy threat lingers. Clinging to ceilings, hiding in air ducts, in the roof, in the sewers, anywhere they can hide from the light of day, biding their time, waiting for a time to strike. And the tide is rising now. Do not hesitate. Do not let fear take hold of your heart. You must do what needs to be done when dealing with the alien and the heretic.
Be silent. They are the eye that sleepeth not. Mention their name again, and they will appear. And when they do, Death will be the least of your worries. We're all sinners here.
This is what it means to live and die in the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition. It is our job to hunt down any and all threats to the stability of the God Emperor's Imperium. These orders, Ordo Malleus, whose primary role is to seek out the forces of chaos and other threats that seek to destroy us from beyond the fringes. Ordo Xenos, who defend the Imperium from the alien threats that lie just outside of our borders. And the Ordo Hereticus, which seeks to combat the human threats to the Imperium that lies within our organizations and on our worlds. From the poorest of under-Hive criminals and scum to the highest and wealthiest aristocrats, they will fear your all-seeing eye. You must condemn or absolve with impunity. Many of you come from varied backgrounds, from many different places spread about the Imperium. You have been chosen amongst many because you show a cold-hearted pragmatism, so unyielding and fervent that you understand that the endurance and continued survival of humanity is above everything else.
Oi, you lot, aren't you supposed to be somewhere else?
You may be wondering what weapons or specialties will be bestowed upon you. Each one will be on his or her own. The weapons you will use will vary, and you will complement each other. The robes and armor you'll wear will protect you from the dark tendrils you will find in the many levels of the Hive. Not one of you is alike, and each one will play to your own strengths. In order to survive the Darktide, you will need to work together, as only a fool would dare face chaos alone. You must put your differences aside if you are to have any chance at achieving your mission. Those among you that are adept at various kinds of weaponry will continue that training to be able to handle well all manner of weapons, some of which will even be blessed by our powerful librarians. You will also master defenses and tools that will make you a formidable opponent to the unclean. This is the path of the veteran. It can be said that veterans are survivors, those among you that have sorted out minefields, participated in long wars of attrition, and have fought dozens of foes, and have lived to tell the tale. Individuals that have been hardened by the unforgiving fires of war, fires of real, intense, and deadly combat. Veterans are expected to provide valuable battlefield experience to their peers, and may even employ unconventional but effective tactics that are not necessarily taught by the Tactica Imperium. Your experience, that can range from a few years to decades, will provide with practical knowledge and superior adaptability in the field of battle. Be ready, for you will be more than needed in the upcoming missions in Tertium Hive. Those of you that show an uncanny ability to deeply understand the power of the immaterium and show a strong resistance to the temptations that haunt every waking moment as a conduit of chaos itself, you will learn how to better hone your powers, to rack foes with terrible energies, interrogate their minds for the truth, and provide support for your allies. You will also receive a sanction to use your abilities and your duties how you see fit. But be warned, if the influence of the ruinous powers begins to take hold, you will not be spared. This is the path of the psyker.
Know this, Adept, for your journey has been long, and you are to be trusted as few will ever be. Psykers represent humanity's future, the ideal creature into which mankind will evolve, a more powerful, more intelligent, and more capable life form.
Psykers have the unnatural ability to transform the howling winds of the warp and change that energy into a devastating weapon in service of mankind. With a single thought, the psyker conjures lightning that is then hurled at their opponents, burning their flesh and breaking their bones. The powers of the warp are extremely dangerous. There have been many terrible cases in which psykers have exploded in the middle of a battle, when dealing with the winds of magic caused by a simple distraction or the mispronunciation of a single syllable. In other cases, these individuals have become possessed and have started to kill friends and foes alike before being put down. Psykers have to go through an extremely strict training to learn how to focus their prodigious mental strength through their weapons, which is often a psycho-reactive staff. You must demonstrate an uncanny ability to guard one's mind against the incessant temptations and battering of the warp. You are expected to risk not only your body, but your very soul in the hope of completing the mission of purging the darkness from the Hive city. Those among you that show a natural resistance against the influences of the warp, and who have an uncanny insight at seeking out those illegally practicing those powers, will train in mastering the Zealous Blade, as well as continuing to bolster your unwavering will against witches and heretics alike. This is the path of the Zealot. The Zealots are known for their fiery passion for the execution of both their duties and the extermination of the heretics they abhor. They will be expected to put themselves first in the task of purging the lost and the damned from the Hive. The Emperor will guide your hand as you kill the impure and cleanse them with holy fire. You are expected to die for the Emperor, as the final reward and the fruits for all your hard work await you in death. Finally, those of you brutally strong from the cold and barren planets spread across the galaxy will continue your training and receive genetic and technological enhancements that will have the enemies quaking in their boots as you break down doors, shields, and demonstrate violent bursts of brutish strength that will take down even the strongest of foes, as well as make you the wall that stems the swarm of the unclean. This is the path of the ogryn. Ogryns are exceptionally resilient and can serve the team greatly. Their sheer strength can be a very valuable asset when dealing with swarms of enemies and brutish monsters alike. Ogryns are doggedly loyal to the regiments or teams they are attached to, and will compensate their lack of intelligence with pure strength, and are best used when given simple orders, like crush the enemy, break a door, or destroy an artifact of heretic nature. You are expected to be always in the front lines of battle, as the big corpulence of your body is expected to be the rock upon which the Darktide will crash. Now that the team is assembled, geared, and know what your mission is, get ready to fight in the city of Tertium. Hive cities tend to be massive population centers that can vary in size but are often as big as entire countries. They are layered cities that consist of all manner of buildings, bridges, tunnels, chambers, halls, and more. They are so high that they often pierce the skies themselves, and sometimes so deep that there's no clear line when it comes to how profound some of these under-Hive cities can go. The Hive city of Tertium is on the brink of total collapse. This sprawling megapolis is located on the planet Atoma Prime, and is thought to house billions of inhabitants. This is where the action will take place. From boiling hot industrial factories to vast networks of tunnels, to the decaying water maintenance zone afflicted by constant acid rainfall. Tertium Hive is a hard and unforgiving place. Your role is to serve the zealous Inquisition by embarking on missions to exterminate the threats lurking in the depths of the Hive city. Prepare to fight in close quarters. These cities are vast, however, quite tight-knit, so make sure you plan your gear and tactics accordingly. The last thing you want is to turn a corner and be swarmed by a horde of chaos without being ready. What you must also consider is that the longer you remain in these chaos squalors, the more you may feel the corruption spread into your very being. The goal is to get in and get out as soon as possible, to prevent any problems like that arising for the squad in the future. I must inform you that this understanding we have for all of you to assist the Imperium is not a one-mission gig. I expect we will be using you until the day chaos is rid from this world, or when the fighting becomes too much and your meaningless lives end. Regardless of where your life has taken you, regardless of what path you walk now, you are now an instrument of the Emperor, and will stand in judgment over all of the Imperium's organizations and its citizens. You will be the hammer against the corrupted and the vile that have turned their faces from the light of the one who sits on the golden throne. Daemons clamor and thrive beyond the Emperor's light, waiting for the hour in which darkness falls. Aliens come closer, subverting and hiding on our worlds, waiting to destroy us. The unwise, foolish, misguided, willful, and arrogant plague our own ranks, unknowingly working towards their own destruction. We are the bastion against doom. Now finish your training. Then I will see you on Atoma Prime, reject.
On this channel, we are putting together narrative Total War cinematic battles and Warhammer lore videos. A special thank you goes to our Patreon supporters who help us in the making of more content. You can also join Patreon and earn extra perks while supporting the videos to come. Find the link in the description below. Make sure to subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one.